supreme power, especially over a body politic. Freedom from external control or autonomy, one that is sovereign, especially an autonomous state, a controlling influence. Okay? Now, where in that do you see absolute control or absolute power dictating every aspect within it? You don't, do you? That's not part of the definition of sovereignty at all. It's something that's been added to it by a theological construct. So what we're going to do is go through biblical sovereignty, or God's sovereignty is a biblical concept. All of you raised your hands. All of you said you believe in God's sovereignty, right? Well, I hope you do, because it is a biblical concept, but we have to get the definition of sovereignty right. So we're going to see, truly it is a biblical concept. And then we're going to look at a particular view of sovereignty, which is the Augustinian Calvinist view. And that Augustinian Calvinist view has a definition of sovereignty that doesn't fit the dictionary. And I would suggest doesn't even fit the Bible. All right? The next thing we're going to do is look at the early church fathers and see sovereignty proven by free will. We're going to look at Scriptures, how they viewed Scriptures, how they understood the Scriptures, and how they viewed sovereignty. And then we're going to see, well, sovereignty, that's a nice, academic topic, but I would suggest that one's view of sovereignty determines your view of salvation. How salvation proceeds is directly related to your view of sovereignty. If you have a more dictatorial view of sovereignty, you're going to have a certain view of how one is saved. And if you have a different view of sovereignty, you'll have a different view of how one is saved. It's directly correlated. So that's why sovereignty is important. That's why we're looking at sovereignty before salvation, and then we're looking at eternal rewards or service awards later. Okay? So that's where we're headed. So let's look at sovereignty as a biblical concept. I'm going to go through a few verses. You guys know these verses. I'm not going to spend a bunch of time on them. Let's just read some from Psalms. Our God is in the heavens. He has done whatever He has pleased. Whatsoever the Lord pleased, that He did in the heavens and in the earth and in the seas and in all deep places. Pretty easy. Colossians 1, for by Him all things were created that are in the heavens and that are on the earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created through Him and for Him. He is before all things, and in Him all things hold together. Proverbs and Isaiah. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, He turns it wherever He wills. I am God, and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done. Say, my counsel will stand. I will do all my pleasure. So very strong evidence of the